All right. Happy Sunday, everybody. It's Joe Martucci here at the Press of Atlantic City, and we are just hours away from what will be our biggest snowstorm in at least 3, if not 4, years here across the area. We did have snow December 2018 that brought generally 4 to 8 inches. Then we had a big one that brought 12 to 20 just around that Parkway corridor in January of 2018. So those are the two I'm going off of here. Thank you to everybody for joining in here. I want to give a couple minutes to have everybody come on in and settle down as we go into what's going to happen. We'll take your questions. We're going to talk about the forecast. We'll have the snow map, of course. But I wanted to point out, I want to start off with this because we are certainly in for some weather whiplash. We had a record low, warmest temp on Saturday. So the minimum temp was the record on Saturday. And then we're going to have our record snowiest day just 2 days later in Atlantic City Marina. They also broke a record. They actually broke a record today with a high of 60 degrees. And that was in that 3:30 to 4:30 a.m. hour. So here's the storm threats. Rain begins Monday morning as snow and sleet. Going to start early in the morning, though. In terms of the tidal flooding, minor stage Monday morning. A few spots will get to moderate, but it is going to be more significant than what you had on Friday and Saturday. I do think there will be some road closures, even if there was no snow. I think Route 30, Route 40 would have some road closures between AC and the mainland. You factor on the snow, it's just going to be a slushy mess out there during the morning. So if you don't have to be out Monday morning, don't. I should be in Atlantic City Monday morning with a live stream at 8 o'clock. Make sure to get there safely. Looking at the winds, damaging winds possible Monday afternoon here along the shore. Rain showers still not ruled out as we go into tonight. Temperatures are crashing, though, as we go across the area. So we have a coastal flood advisory in effect for all of South Jersey. This is actually 5 to 11 a.m. Monday. I apologize for that, but it is Monday here for all of the shore. That's to cover that minor stage coastal flooding. Here's our winter storm alerts. Now, if you're in this pink area, and that's pretty much our coverage area, Ocean, Atlantic, Cape, Cumberland, it's a warning. We had a winter storm watch this morning. It changed to a warning as we get closer and closer. Along the Turnpike corridor, we're in a winter weather advisory, which is a nuisance kind of storm, but it's not one that would be damaging to property, and that has the potential to do so here. Temperatures are falling, and they will be falling fast. 57 o'clock, 30s, and below 32 in that blue, 7 a.m. on Monday here. And then look what happens as we go to 7 a.m. Tuesday. If you're in Hamilton, it's going to be nice and toasty there. 15 degrees, that is it. Remember, last week, we had high temperatures in the 50s pretty much every day. And now we're going to this, where our overnight lows will be in the teens. And that's because when it snows and you have a clear sky, that's what we're going to have Monday night. That cold can just really settle in really quickly here. So we're going to take you through pretty much hour by hour here, time frame by time frame, and show you what's going on. Monday, 1 a.m. We're going to be sleeping. Most of us will be sleeping. I'm going to try to sleep. Should be dry. Now this is 4 o'clock. It's pretty much going to be scattered here, but there will be snow. I think what's going to happen, for most of us here. So if you're along the coast, you're in Ocean, you're in Atlantic, you're in Cape, it's going to start as rain, but then pretty quickly go to sleet and then snow. I think by sunrise we're snowing everywhere. Now, if you're in Cumberland, you're watching this in Monmouth County, you're watching this in, let's say, Mount Holly, you're probably going to start as all snow. Then as we go to 7 a.m. Monday, now we're ripping and rolling here. You see those purples there? That is actually heavy snow. Very heavy snow at that point in time. And this continues through the morning. Remember, we got coastal flooding at this time as well. So if you're in Sea Isle City, you got the coastal flooding and you have the heavy snow. It's just not going to be good to get out there. We go to 4 o'clock Monday. Still snowing good. Not heavy, but it's still snowing good. But notice that cutoff. Turnpike corridor. If you're in Newark, Patterson, Morristown, it's very possible you don't even get a flake of snow from this. This is a South Jersey special. This is our snow here. It's a Jersey Shore special. Now, here's what I want to say, and we can dig into this with some questions, that you have in a little bit. Will it mix at the shore, right? If you live at the shore, you're used to this. You get the northeast wind, and we're mixing. We're going between snow, sleet, rain, flipping and flopping here. Computer models are very coordinated in the fact that we won't see any sleet. I have to give credence to the fact that the water temp is in the mid-40s right now. You have an east wind. I just think there's going to be some mixing. Now, I think your totals are still going to be pretty high, and we'll talk about that. Your impacts are still going to be the same, but you might not have those highest totals. I think once you're west of the Parkway, that's where you get those highest totals. I don't think you see really much in the way of sleet. Let's keep going. 7 o'clock Monday, we're still snowing. Now, I think we're tapering down by this point, but we're still snowing. And then I think quickly after 7, it's getting out of here. I even think this model's overdoing how long it's going to stay around, but it'll be around for a while. So here we go. We have our snow map. Same thoughts as what I had this afternoon. So if you're in this blue, or that, I should say that bluish purple, or you're in that pink, that's 8 to 14. I think it's a given here. And this is a big change from what I've been saying over the weekend. I realize that. But, sometimes things change, and you have to kind of coordinate with how things roll. If you're in Cape May Courthouse up to about Estelle Manor over to Morris River Township, it is possible, not definite, but possible, we're talking about 14 to 18 inches of snow. There's when you forecast, right? So how do you forecast? You look at a bunch of things. But one of the things you look at is the amount of QPF. That's the amount of precipitation. If all the precipitation fell as liquid, what would measure up? You go off of that and you make yourself a snowfall contest. We do have a snowfall contest. A snowfall map, I should say. These areas, if you're in Atlantic, Eastern Cumberland, Cape, we have 1.5 to 2 inches of precip to work with. You figure your snow ratio here, that's the amount of, 1 inch of rain brings X amount of inches. You're talking about probably a 10 to 1 ratio, given it's going to be wet snow in the morning, fluffier snow in the afternoon, it's higher ratios. I mean, the top end could be 20 somewhere. Now, I think we're going to have some rain and a little bit of mix at the coast, and that'll lower things. And notice I don't have Ocean City in that high spot, but this is it. So, Galloway, 8 to 14. Vineland, 8 to 14. Bridgeton, 8 to 14, probably on that lower end. Hamilton, 4 to 8. So, this is unusual, right? Usually, it's the other way around. Hamilton's getting the most, but you get up to Toms River, 4 to 8. Lacey, 4 to 8. We got Neptune kind of just sitting there. That's 2 to 4. And, we'll update that as we need to. Philadelphia, 2 to 4 inches. So, again, if you're going west of Philly, really tough traveling here. Out in Philly, a nuisance. Nothing incredible. I want to break down the snow probability. And this is for a few different, they might seem random areas, but if you look at the snow map, we'll go back to the snow map, you'll see why I'm really talking about, see if we can get the mouse here, this fringe area right here, Hamilton, Towns River. This is the probability. Admittedly, it's a lower than I'd like probability forecast, just being literally 7 hours out from snow. And that's because for Ocean County, it's for different reasons. The shores because of the mixing. Western Cumberland Oceans because of the precipitation, the bulk of it get that far north. I still like 8 to 14, but if I was to hedge one way or another, I'd hedge on the lower end. We go over to inland Cape May County, inland Atlantic, Eastern Cumberland, right? That's where I had that 14 plus. Well, I still like that 8 to 14. I think it could go either way, but I think, and I don't have this on the probability, I think we're talking about it going to be closer to 14, not closer to 8. So this is, again, our biggest snow definitely since December of 18, and I would say probably since January of 18. The last time we kind of had a storm like this, where you're really talking about a southeast to northwest gradient, was 2009 in December. So it's been a while. And even that storm, the northern third of the state, Newark, Morristown, they had some good amount of snow too, but it was really here. So if you remember December 2009, that's kind of a good bellwether for what I'm thinking about here in terms of a storm. Looking at the forecast winds, it's going to be breezy during the morning. Nothing incredible, but you have heavy snow. You have the winds. Could be talking about blizzard conditions. Blizzard conditions when visibility is 1/4 of a mile or under. That's what we're talking about at times here during the day. It is just going to be nasty. Fun, snow's fun. I like snow, but nasty at the same time. When we go to the afternoon, that's when we start to worry about damaging winds and power outages because you have that snow sitting on the trees, sitting on the power lines, and you have the wind as well. These winds will be coming from the north-northeast as that center of the low-pressure system stays pretty close to us. I think 40s along the shore is a good bet. Summer probably squeaks out of 50. My weather dad, Jim Eberwine, we were talking a little bit earlier. Shout out to Jim if he's watching. I'm going to give you a call after this. He likes the idea of really 50s along the shore. I can see why he says that, but we're going to say 40s for now, and I think a few spots will get to 50s. We'll look at the coastal flooding, and I'm going to say this too. Got a great amount of people watching. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, start shooting them my way now. We're almost wrapping up with this part, and I'm happy to take your questions. So if you have a couple questions, shoot them my way. Post here on the Facebook page if you're watching on Facebook. If you're on our website, go to our Facebook page, and you'll be able to ask some questions here. Coastal flooding. If you saw it this morning, you're going to see it tomorrow morning. And some of you that didn't see it this morning, you'll see it tomorrow morning. I think we're going to be in the upper end of minor flood stage. I think even during the PM hours, the PM is our lower of the two high tides. We're still talking about some coastal flooding in Cape May and Atlantic. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But Dorset Avenue Bridge in Ventnor could be closed. I'm thinking of Route 72 and LBI, floods over there. Could be flooded. It's just not nice here. By Tuesday morning, I think we're going to be okay. If anything, we're going to get the spotty minor flood stage. This is what Seattle City looks like in minor flood stage. I think it'll be a little bit worse than this. You can't get every level, but anywhere that's shaded in the purples, that's where you would see water. So that's Central Ave between 49th and JFK Boulevard sees water. And even going down to 37th Street. I think a little more than that we'll see it, but that's about what we're talking about. And thanks for the question, everybody. I'll definitely get to them in a little bit. Let's talk about the storm timing, just to break it down. 2 to 5 a.m., that's when the storm gets going. Rain turns to snow and sleet. Starts first at the Turnpike, goes down to Cape May last. 5 a.m. to 2, that is the worst times. That's where, if you're not working, you need to be in. If you don't need to drive, don't. If you don't need to get on the bus, don't. Poor conditions, heavy snow, blowing snow, coastal flooding, some winds. It's just going to be a bona fide nor'easter for us. I mean, there's really no other way to describe it. Pockets of light snow and heavy snow, we're going to kind of interchange between 2 to 6. It'll start to end at that point too. I think in Bridgeton, it's probably over, let's just say 4, but it might take until 8 o'clock for it to be done in Seaside Park, Toms River, LBI, Brigantine, and it's cold on Monday night. Mid-teens for lows inland. That's our coldest night of the season. 20 to 25 at the coast. It's about 10 degrees below average. You factor in the wind. There won't be a lot of wind, but there'll be some wind. I mean, you're talking about wind chills in the teens after midnight at the coast, single digits inland. That's what we got going on. So I'll cap it off with the inland 7-day forecast, and then we'll answer your questions. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3. Looks like we got 3 questions. If you have another question, let me know. We're staying cold early in the week. Probably could be dealing with some more snow on Friday and Sunday. These don't look to be big snow makers for us, but just something to keep in mind here. And over at the shore, it's the same story. Friday, I'm going with dry day for now. I'm just watching that weather Friday. Sunday looks to be a little more definite. It doesn't look to be a major event, but some snow is definitely in the cards here. So let's go to the questions that we have. I'll start with, and I'm sorry if I got your name wrong here. Is it Dara? She says, when is the safest time to travel tomorrow off and on the island? I'll refer back to our storm timing here. Really, the safest time is going to be after 7 o'clock on Monday night. If you have to do something, anything after 2, you're going to get some more interchangeable snow. So it might be heavy and then light. Remember, the coastal flooding is going to be gone. I think, yes, at 7, 8 o'clock p.m., there will be a little coastal flooding, but I don't think it's enough to really cause, besides the snow, too much of an issue. Plus, we'll be plowing. We'll be, salting at that point. So thanks for the question, Dow. Appreciate that. Dwayne says, ground being so warm, won't that take away from totals? Yes, it will, Dwayne, and my snow map, believe it or not, accounts for that. Let's go back to that snow map here, because I want to go back to what I was saying earlier, which is, how much precipitation do we have to work with here? So and I might click out of this in a little bit and show you some things, but I want to show you the graphics now. When you forecast for snow, you're looking at the amount of precipitation or liquid that's falling from the sky. It might turn to snow, but the liquid that's falling, that's there. We're working with 1.5 to 2 inches here for anywhere in that 8 to 14 or that possible 14 plus. Even if you take away 1/10 of an inch for the rain, which is possible, even if you take away a little bit at the beginning for the snow. Here's the thing. When the snow is heavy, when the snow is in inch per hour rates, and we could be talking, and we're definitely going to have inch per hour rates in that 8 to 14 area, it'll cover on the ground. It doesn't matter if it was July yesterday. It will cover the ground when it's over an inch per hour. We have seen it in April. Sun is strong in April. It can still stick if it's heavy. If this was a light snow at the start, I would agree with you more, but it does look like by about 6 a.m., we're snowing pretty good here. Now, there will be brining, of course. We're brining the roadways, we're salting the roadways, so that's going to cut totals, right, on the ground and at least the road, but where you take the snowfall measurements on a whiteboard. So if you want to take snowfall measurements, get a whiteboard. You can get a cutting board if it's white. You could paint a block of wood white, and you measure on that. That's where you're going to get that 8 to 14. So that's actually a really good question, Dwayne. And I should say one thing, too. I've talked to 2 people. Linda Gilmore, she's with the Atlantic County government, and Chuck LeBar from the Office of Emergency Management in Margate. They both told me that we should really be patient on Monday because the crews are short-staffed. Not everywhere, but in a decent amount of places because of COVID, still tail end of the holiday season. So it probably will take a little longer than usual to get those roads cleared. So, if we can be patient, it's only one day. I think by Tuesday, most roads are okay. Your side roads, especially if you're in some of those small towns, it can still be snow. I think by Wednesday, we're going to be clear here. But that snow will probably linger on the ground for a number. It might even linger all the way to February in some spots. Ann says, how much snow for Galloway Township? Galloway is firmly in that 8 to 14. I would say if you're over towards Egg Harbor City, it could be a little bit higher than if you're over in, let's say, Leeds Point. Good question, Ed. All right. Let me show you a couple other things here. I'm going to click out of our graphic, and I'm going to take you over to what is happening right now. Elizabeth says, thank you for the information. Thank you. Thank you all for watching. I know you have different options for weather out there. I'm not naive to the situation. I'm friends with some of the people you might be watching, but I appreciate you turning to us at the press. I have, I think, some really good news for you that I can share with you in the next, we'll say, month. That's really going to make these kind of events a lot more immersive and a lot more interactive with you guys. So I'm really looking forward to that. But for now, I'm glad that we have our community here, and give me a follow on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, and subscribe to our weather newsletter. It's free. PressOfAC.com/newsletters. It's a great resource. It's pretty much all my information in one email each morning. And actually, the numbers have been great, so thank you for that. It's snowing in Tennessee. It's snowing in Kentucky. It's snowing in Mississippi. It's snowing in Alabama. It'll be snowing in New Jersey soon. They are getting a decent amount of snow there right now. And what I want to show you is the European model. I think if you're a snow person, you know about the European model. I just want to show you that low pressure system because it's a little hard to see in that other graphic. Look at that low pressure system. It's a decent amount offshore at this point in time. Look at that. That's far offshore. So when it gets to about Cape May's latitude, it's already out towards Cape Cod. That's a little far east, but it's good for us. If you like the snow, I should say good if you're a snow lover. I'm speaking on behalf of everybody here. If you're a snow lover, that's good because you'll get enough cold air on the wraparound side of the system. And here's the thing. If you're looking for big snow at the shore or the Parkway corridor, you need it to snow more here than in Philadelphia. If Philadelphia is getting the most amount of snow, we're probably mixing. And if the northern part of the state's getting a lot of snow, we're probably mixing. You need these kind of events where Philadelphia might not see much. Northern part of the state might not see much. That's how we really cash in on our events, especially for South Jersey. A little different story if you're in, let's say, Toms River, or you're in Belmar, Sandy Hook. You can snow pretty good on any nor'easter, and we've seen it. But really, I would say once you get south of Toms River, you pretty much need to set up like this. I'm more than happy to take any questions you have as we keep rolling here on our Sunday night. Just to let you guys know what's happening on our end. Depending on how bad the weather is, because I got to travel to work too, we're going to try to do a live stream in Atlantic City at 8 a.m. tomorrow. When we have the coastal flooding and we have the snow, we'll show you what's going on around the area. We'll have a live updates thread on our website, pressofac.com/weather, or just pressofac.com. I'll be doing some videos kind of like this during the day. We'll be chatting with you, and I'm going to be up until the last flake flies, and then I'll drive home. So we're here with you guys. But thanks everybody for watching. Where are you guys watching from, too? I want to see where you guys are from. We have a lot of shore people tuning in. I know, we always do pretty good in Cumberland County. We have Cumberland County tuning in tonight. If you're further up the coast, that's great. I'm a little further up the coast myself. So, if you're in Ocean County, give us a shout. Let's show you, let's go back to our plumes. These are plumes. So what are these? This is pretty much, we got a Bridgeton from Dwayne. All right, there we go. And we have a Michael and Absecon. Nancy's out in Port Republic. Really nice place, Port Republic, by the way. Really nice place. Ling in my former town of Galloway. Lived in Smithville for 4 years. Shout out to Ling. I want to show you this. And I think I have to kind of... There we go. Let's see if I can move this over for you. These are our plumes for Atlantic City International Airport. What does this mean? Well, the black line is what the average of all the different ensemble runs of the GFS, the American model, are showing. So, but the GFS, there's one GFS model, but then there's we take a bunch of tweaks to it to show a range of possibilities. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this timer to 60 hours because that's pretty much going to take us through the storm here. So there we go. So this is the amount of QPF that we're working with, or liquid. If you took all the snow and you melted it, that's what you're working with. Look at the snow spreads here. The blue is the actual operational or the main run of the GFS model. It's 19 inches for Atlantic City. 19 inches. GFS model has had this since Tuesday. The only model to do so. Now, it's not taking into account the fact that some of it's going to melt on the roads. It's not taking into account, I think we're going to see a little bit of sleet. But the mean, the average is 12.2, but there's still a wide spread, right? We go from 3 to 25 inches. Now, there's kind of two camps grouped in this. We got like this 5 to 10 inch group, and then we have this like 12 to 18 inch group here. So both of them, even if it's 5 to 10, I mean, that's, it's a decent snow for us. And then that higher end, that's where we're talking about 19 inches here. You got the Philadelphia, just to show you what we're talking about. Then your groupings are more, you still got that 5-ish to 10. We got a small group of bigger ones, but you notice it's pretty clumped. And then you go up to New York City, and it's even lower, right? You're clumped between a 1 to 3 event, 1 to 3 in New York, and then you got like a 3 to 6. So, and I'll just take it one more place too, because I want to talk about my weather brother, Sean Sublett, out in Richmond, Virginia. He is a month into the job as the meteorologist for the Richmond Times-Dispatch, and we talked for a brief minute today, and he was, off for the New Year's weekend, but hopped back into action. I mean, the GFS model is showing, a tight 10 to 12 and another tight 14 to 18, but it looks like a good snow for them too. I mean, 18 is a near historic snowstorm for them. We've seen 18 before a decent amount of times. So that's what we got for you. Again, it might take a little bit for the roads to get plowed. There's coastal flooding on Monday. The morning is just not. It's not gonna be nice. We got a winter wonderland. Even if you don't like snow, appreciate this one, because we have gone the past 2 winters, especially 2 winters ago, barely anything. Last winter we did okay, but it wasn't anything great. It wasn't even average. This, as I say, it only takes one storm to get to average snowfall. Average snowfall is about 17 inches at Atlantic City International Airport. It could take one just to get to 17. I think we're going to be awfully close in some spots of South Jersey by the time we're done with this storm. So we got Leonora in Atlantic City. Maybe I'll see you on tomorrow morning around 8 o'clock. We should be doing a live stream then. Make sure to tune in. And you can always come back to our website, pressofac.com/weather for the latest. We're going to sign out, everybody. Take care. Stay safe. And make sure to get the snow plows and the snow plows or snow brushes or the snow shovels out. I got to do that in just a little bit myself. All right. Take it easy, everybody.